What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to discuss 5 reasons why I'm doubling my position in the cannabis penny stock HighTide, ticker symbol HITIF. But firstly, if you haven't seen my channel before, my main premise of investing is investing in 30 blue chip diversified stocks. However, the HighTide is the first penny stock within my portfolio that brings it up to 31 holdings overall. Again, HighTide is currently my smallest position. However, due to the 5 points I'm going to mention today, I'm slowly going to build up this position and hopefully down the line I'll reap the rewards. If we scroll down on the left here, we can see that we have about €8,000 invested overall, and HighTide at the moment only has 54.7 shares. That only equates to about €28 or about $35 to $40 overall. Currently we're up about 5.5%. We can see on the dotted line here that that's our current average position, and the current price of HighTide at the moment is 62 cents. When the market's open today, I'm going to further put in about 46 or so shares. They're rounded up to 100 shares overall at the moment. Again, that'll only be about €50 invested, but I do have plans to invest a lot more down the line. I just want to see what way it goes over the next few weeks in terms of volatility. As you can imagine, penny stocks are extremely volatile and can go up or down 10 to 20% on any given time for no apparent reason a lot of the time. So what I'm planning on doing here is slowly drip feeding in funds. So I'm going to start with 100 shares, and once it dips, and if it dips at any time, I'll slowly start investing further capital to get a lower overall dollar cost average. So the first reason why I'm doubling my position is because of their product offerings, diversification, and celebrity endorsements. So on screen, we'll start with the product offerings and brands. We can see they have bricks and mortar on the left, and also online, which is definitely the way forward, on the right. And I like the way they have started to focus further on the right in terms of meta growth, as well as they have a good online presence. On the left here, we can see bricks and mortar. They have 4 current brands in the form of Canna Cabana, New Life, Meta Growth, and also Kush Bar. And on the right, they have the online stores of Grass City and CBD City. What I like about their brand diversification is this didn't just happen overnight. This is over years upon years of hard graft and kind of slowly adding in the new brands. And within each of these brands, they really do have great and diversified product offerings. Now, as there's so many different brands within this company, HighTide, I don't really want to go into detail, as I have covered these in prior videos that I link in the description below, because it would really take up a lot of this video's time if you went through those, and I feel there's more valid points that are kind of better to include in today's video. And the second point of this first reason why I'm doubling my position is due to celebrity endorsements. For example, on the left here we can see such celebrities as Snoop Dogg and Cheech and Chong. Now, having 2 of those in such a sector as the cannabis sector is extremely important, and it's huge news in my opinion, because having such celebrity endorsements as Snoop Dogg within this sector is literally the ultimate celebrity endorsement in my opinion within the sector of this. Second reason why I'm doubling my position is because of the Q4 earnings that were mentioned a few weeks back at this stage. However, they were extremely strong in my opinion. We can see just the headline here that HighTide reports 2020 financial results featuring a 166% increase in revenue and a record adjusted EBITDA of 8 million. If we scroll down here, we can see kind of a synopsis or summary of their overall Q4 earnings report. We can see revenues increased 118% to 24.9 million. Gross profits increased 112% to 8.7 million. Gross profit margin for Q4 was 35%, and for fiscal year end it was 37%. Their adjusted EBITDA for the fourth quarter was 3.6 million and 8 million for the year end. Their geographically, fourth quarter of 2020, 20.6 million was earned within Canada, 4.1 million in the US, and 0.2 or 200,000 internationally. Now, I did mention in a prior video that I would like to see their international sales go up, but we'll include that in another point later on in the video. So, and finally, we can see that their cash in hand at the 31st of October 2020 was totaled at 7.5 million. As you can imagine, having debt within these penny stocks is a huge worry for a lot of investors. However, HighTide have kind of gone above and beyond, should I say, and are after covering 20 million worth of further debt and converted it into equity. And also, as I said just before at this point, that all of their Q4 earnings were extremely positive in my opinion. You couldn't really fault any aspect of it. So the third point is a short point, but nonetheless important in my opinion, and that is the transparency, especially with their CEO Raj Grover. And I believe as a penny stock and a small company, especially penny stocks, can be very volatile and secretive in my opinion. However, such companies as HighTide are extremely transparent, and that definitely gives investors strong reassurance that the company has strong fundamentals. Who knows, even when the channel starts to grow, we might actually ask Raj to come on for a Q&A. I highly doubt he'd accept it, but we can chance around anyway, I suppose. But that kind of leads us on nicely to our next point in terms of how transparent they are. And Raj had the Q&A a few weeks back, and in terms of on Bloomberg, they had quite an interesting article in terms of legislation and how this will affect the company going forward. So as I just mentioned, a huge catalyst going down the line for, in particular, Canadian cannabis stocks is US legislation laws. And I believe to go forward and to actually go to the next level, the Canadian stocks such as HighTide need to get into the US market, and legislation needs to go their way in order to do so. There's a lot of very valid points within this article, but again, it's quite in depth, so I want to keep it very brief for the reason of this video. We can see here that Raj said that they can't even get products into the US and they have unlimited demand right now. And the bottom point here, at the end of the day, if the Canadians bring something to the table that the Americans value and there's money to be made both for the company and the shareholders, they think it's going to be a win-win for everyone involved. So I do feel that that is really going to excel and as a brilliant catalyst going forward if the US start to relax legislation laws in terms of cannabis. In my opinion, these US legislation laws for cannabis won't be an overnight fix, should I say, in my opinion, because there's a lot of kind of legislations that need to be accepted and brought on from the Senate, the Congress, etc. So there's a lot involved. It's not just clicking your fingers and saying cannabis will be allowed in the US, but there is positive news in terms of some states already having very relaxed laws in terms of cannabis and their legislations, and other states are already on board to try to rectify their own current conditions as well. I do feel that this poses a great opportunity to buy such cannabis stocks as HighTide at a cheap price. Again, we say that start this video, they're trading at about 60 or so cent at the moment. So down the line, again, I mean the next 2 to 5 years, this could offer a great opportunity to make big money down the line. The fifth reason why I'm doubling my position in HighTide at the moment is because I believe in their strategy and goals, both short and long term. Their strategy, they have three main factors here: differentiation, growth, and continuous R&D. So again, we won't really go into the three of those today, as I kind of want to focus more on their goals down below. Very briefly, a very brief synopsis in terms of short goals. They have 5 listed here: continue construction opening of retail stores, convert concepts into full-on projects, establish a big retail presence in all applicable Canadian provinces. Again, that's a huge factor. And then they want to hire talented people, and finally foster positive relationships. In terms of long-term goals, they want to build great brands. Obviously, that's kind of an obvious factor, I suppose. They want to develop responsible customer relationships, play a key role in shaping a world-leading Canadian cannabis industry. Again, another key point. And finally, delivering shareholders an industry-leading ROI and earn premium multiples as a public company through strategic stewardship, disciplined capital allocation, and strong governance presence. In terms of goals and expansion, again, it's not really mentioned here, but they are currently in the process of filing to get put on the NASDAQ. So that would be a huge benefit because it would really increase their exposure and would definitely drive up their share price as well. So that's another major catalyst in my opinion. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I just wanted to give 5 or 6 brief points on why I'm doubling my position in HighTide, ticker symbol HITIF. If you found this video anyway helpful or interesting, it'd be brilliant as always if you'd consider subscribing to the channel. We've just hit the 1100 subscriber mark, which I think is insane. So thanks very much to every single one of you that have already subscribed. And if you could smash the like button as well, it'd be much appreciated. But most importantly, if you have any questions, comments, queries or suggestions, or if you want to give your own personal thoughts within this company, please don't hesitate to comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks very much, enjoy your Monday, and I will see y'all in tomorrow's video.